Oh, hello. Michael here. And unfortunately, I don't actually have a new episode of Talking Element for you this week because I have gotten married and am on my honeymoon. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do a short episode that we are calling The Cutting Room Floor. And this is where we are going to put in some bloopers, some outtakes, some behind the scenes stuff that you normally may not care about, as well as some segments that we thought were good, but just didn't have either fit with the episode at hand or for length were cut. So welcome to Element Cutting Room Floor.
I always go first. That's why I'm just looking. Do you want to go first?
Well, if you start, then I can interrupt you.
Okay. But you talk so quiet, I don't know if you're going to be able to interrupt.
They'll hear me.
Oh yeah, Mark will just turn you up.
That chair's like way over.
Doesn't it feel like it's really far away from you?
Yeah, it got moved. It definitely got moved. People doing announcements on my...
Oh yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
This feels more like
Yeah,
it.
it feels way better.
Yeah.
I looked over and you both were like...
Is the camera going to be off now? Didn't he position it on you?
How do you want to look?
Yeah, another thing that you had mentioned is the idea of perfection and wanting to get to that perfection and stuff. And I thought, in reality, when we put our trust in Christ, we get a perfect status with Him, but not a perfect character. That's something that He starts working on, talks about, perfecting us until the day of redemption, that He continues to do that. And we don't actually reach that perfection until we see Him. Like 1 John 3, we will be like Him because we will see Him as He is. And we never get to be like Him until then. So one of the things that people are doing is they're thinking, wow, if this went wrong, if my life is not happening perfectly, then something is just wrong. And really, we expect too much, I think, out of this life. We can enjoy the perfect status and work toward getting better at stuff, but that whole perfection thing, holding it out there, it's pretty dangerous.
Do you mind giving us...
You know what's funny though? Your glasses. There's this old comedian, and he wears those glasses.
Oh, really?
Those big black glasses. I can't remember what his name is though.
I was hoping it made me look smarter.
I couldn't remember if I was supposed to say clean or clear conscience, so I kept saying them both. Get that clean and clear conscience. It's like, I don't know what we stuck on the slide, but I'm going to say one of the words.
Clean on the slide and on the notes.
There, did I peek? Yes!
Although we could have changed
I turned you
it.
down on the last one. You would have.
Yeah, see?
That was a big desert. That was
was a big
probably the Sahara, And then, you have different deserts that you go through, and then, you go, oh, I'm in the land of milk and honey. But no, it's just a little puddle oasis, You're not really there yet. But
The desert's still right.
in the
10 more
desert,
steps
it's
away.
still there. You're still going through the desert, right? So it's just, life is just this huge desert. And unfortunately, for myself, there's when things are in the land of what you think is milk and honey, that's when you don't pay attention to God.
I dated this girl, I was like 19 or 20 or something, and her parents always told me that if I didn't play my guitar for God, then I was going to fall down on train tracks and God was going to run over my hand with the train. Literally, that's what they said to me. I'm like, well, that's creative.
Jonathan, earlier you had made a comment about Roman civil law, and I thought we'd start there if you had any thoughts on that.
So I just happened to be reading a book by Norman Geisler, and he makes a point about Acts and what a great historian Luke was, which is why the Gospel of Luke is so full of rich, sort of superfluous, seemingly to a modern reader, details, but they really place the book in the culture in which it was happening. So much so that when you were going through your sermon, you brought out the fact that that Paul was appealing to Caesar. So, which seems like, oh yeah, of course he's appealing to Caesar, but that's a bit of Roman civic law that proved not only is Paul a Roman citizen and he could appeal to Caesar, but gives you something as a historian to place the book and to say, this was written as a trustworthy history as well as a religious book, and it was written to his contemporaries, people that could go out and say, well, that's not exactly what happened.
You've been Tinder with me, and you do it well.
Have I?
Yeah.
Little kneading out. Little kneading out.
You know when to be Tinder.
You have not been tender with me.
Sorry, man. Especially when I tattoo you, right?
That's why I'm like, stop wiping it! Can you just stop wiping it? That's
gotta
the worst
see.
part.
Did you either of you have any last thoughts before we close?
Nope.
Brand's like, thank God it's over.
Wasn't too painful, was it?
I'm still in the seat.
I didn't have to go pee again.